tell me it's not my fault, it's just my time. I'm pretty and bougie, I might just take your nigga, that's just my sign.
What's up, YouTube? It's your girl LatayzhaJahnae, and I'm back for another video. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you're already a subscriber, welcome back to my channel. We're back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a story time. Today's story time is going to be why I moved back home to Georgia. So, I'm about to roll up. I'm going to have a little sesh and tell y'all the tea and why your girl moved back home. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on your post notifications so you get notified every time I post. We got Bestie in the cut. She acting like she don't want to be in the video, but I'm pretty sure y'all probably can see her. I don't know if y'all can or not. Say hey to the gang.
Gang.
Because don't do them like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm finna roll up and we're gonna get into this story time. Alright, y'all, so I finally got my little spliff, my little blunt rolled up. So let's go ahead and get into this story time. Man, this is probably where it all starts. Let me start back from when it all started, where I actually decided I wanted to move back home. So I want to say it was probably around like December, a little after my birthday when I got back from Houston. I want to say it was around like Christmas. What was it, around Christmas? When I was like, I think I'm gonna come back home. I know it was definitely around after my birthday. I just was in a really bad headspace. But y'all, life was great. Life was really good whenever I was living in Boston. I ain't even gonna lie. Credit score was almost at an 800. I was doing good, making good money. But I feel like literally after that car accident I got into, that's when I feel like everything like just went like downhill. Like, and if you watched my life update video when I was up there, I talked about the car accident or whatever and how I ended up having to get a new car. I got in a car accident. This is to sum it up for the people that didn't watch that video. I got in a car accident exactly a week before it was time for me to move into my apartment. So I had no car, no wheels, like no type of transportation, and I had no one really to depend on because everybody else that I did have around me, they like had their own stuff going on, and I couldn't be like dependent on them while trying to get my stuff together for my apartment. So going to buy a TV from somebody off Facebook Market, I got in a freaking car accident and I totaled my car. But that was like, I had to move into my apartment at like the end of August. It was like around like August 27th. And then I had to come back down here to Georgia because I had to go to court for like a speeding ticket I had got while I was down here weeks prior. So I had to come down here for court. I had just moved into my apartment. So I had court for a speeding ticket and a possession ticket. I was speeding and I had weed on me when I got the ticket. The tickets basically totaled up to almost like $1,000 for both tickets. The speeding ticket itself was like $4 something, and then the possession ticket was like $6 something, or was the other way around. But basically, it totaled up to almost like $1,000. And respectfully, I didn't have that money. Like, I had just moved into my apartment, so I came down here like the first week of September. I had to come down here for court, and I had to try to find a car because I needed a car. I couldn't just be up in Boston hours away with no car and catching Ubers everywhere. And Ubers are expensive, and then my apartment was like 40 minutes outside of the city, so I had to get to work and all. Like, I just couldn't. So I had to come down here. We ended up having to get a car while I was down here the week of. I had no down payment because I had just moved into my apartment. So I had no down payment. I was just going off straight luck. I didn't even have the money for the tickets for court, y'all. So I went to court, and thankfully I only had to pay, this is besides the point, but thankfully I only had to pay like $70 something towards the speeding ticket, and they just like let me go on the other tickets. And I cried and I told them like, bro, like I needed that because I had just moved into my apartment. I did not have no $1,000 for 2 tickets. I was in the mix of trying to get a car. Like, it was just a whole lot of, and it was just like too much. But I did end up getting a car in my name. I didn't need a down payment because my credit was good enough and I was making good money while I was in Boston. So I ended up getting a car. That was good. But it really kind of set me back because when I was in Boston, like, my next plan was, after getting my apartment, I was about to start saving up to try to get my Camaro, because if you know and you're a regular, you know my dream car is a Camaro. A car accident was pretty much a huge setback on everything. Mind you, not even just that, like the car accident, going through the whole little, with the ladies like insurance, she kept trying to like put me at fault, but she was the one at fault. So we were going at it like with her insurance people, so it took them a minute to put her at fault. So I couldn't get rental, I couldn't get any a rental or whatever on her insurance because they still hadn't put her at fault. So I was having to pay out of pocket for rentals with my credit card. Like, it was just so much just so much going on top of like still trying to move in, still trying to furnish my apartment, like on top of working 2 jobs. It was just a whole lot. Like, everything was getting it was getting real stressful, but I tried to like keep a level head because I had finally gotten a car. So it was going good once I finally got my car. I was still going at it, and then we finally ended up finding the lady at fault. Like, the police officer, I had to get the police officer to speak with the actual people's insurance, because they weren't trying to go for nothing. Like, the paper, and then it was like literal paperwork that said that she was at fault. She got fined a ticket, and it was just a whole lot. But they were just, I don't know if she knew somebody in her insurance or what, but they were like they were prolonging the whole shit. Finally found her at fault. And it was just still like a lot going on. After going through all that, not having my car, happened to like, I was going into credit debt by like paying like for all these, like paying for rentals with my credit card. So it was just like a whole lot, and it was getting real stressful because that's like setting me back. On top of having to pay my rent, pay my car note, then I gotta pay, instead of paying for a regular credit card bill, I'm having to pay back, for those rentals and stuff. So it was just like a lot, and it was like catching up to me, and it was getting real stressful. And my apartment complex was getting on my nerve too. When I first moved into my apartment, there was like this patch in the ceiling from them doing like patchwork from the previous people that were staying there before me. And they were saying that they were gonna have to just paint over it and popcorn it. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'm leaving for a week, which was the week I came down here for court. I said, like, y'all can do it while I'm gone then. Y'all, I got back. They didn't even popcorn nor paint the shit. So I'm like, whatever. I'm not really tripping. Time's still going on. They still haven't patched this shit up. I mean, painted or whatever. It started raining once upon a time, and it was leaking. And I recorded a video for they asses because y'all got me messed up. Why is my shit leaking? And it was leaking on my couch. So I had that video, and I basically like sent them a maintenance thing. Like, y'all need to come fix my ceiling. Like, this shit's leaking and it's damaging my property. Like, the fuck? And y'all supposed to been fix this shit. So I was going through that with them. So they ended up basically never fixing it. It started snowing and everything. And then it ended up leaking one time while I was like I was working from home. So it was leaking while I was at work. So I had to like tell the people like my supervisors that I had to like clock out early because I was having a ceiling leak, and it was just a whole lot of. But I was basically like telling the people at the front office, like, y'all need to put me in another unit, or y'all need to fix my shit because something need to give. Or I'm not about to be paying y'all no rent, because I'm not about to be paying rent if I'm living in an uninhabitable apartment. They were basically giving me the runaround with that. So I wasn't paying them that fucking rent. Hell no. So I ended up going on my little birthday trip to Houston or whatever. I enjoyed myself. I really had fun with my cousin and Nilly. You guys, if you haven't seen that video, go check out my 21st birthday Houston vlog. Was turned up in Houston. We was lit. That was a situation. But after I got back from Houston or whatever, like, I don't know what it was, but I don't know if it was like a seasonal thing or what, but I just was really, really, really depressed. Like, my mental just wasn't there. Like, I really wasn't in a good headspace. And I was like talking to my best friend about it. I was telling my mama about it. Like, I wasn't really feeling it. And my mama kind of didn't even want me to move to Boston anyway. So when I told her that I wanted to move back home, she was all for it. Like, she was like, okay, when you coming back, whatever. And then when I spent Christmas by myself, like, that really put the icing on the cake. Like, I felt like I was alone. And I had family's houses I could have went to, but it was just like, it felt different, like spending Christmas alone, like without my sisters and my mom or whatever. And then the whole shit with the apartment was just like, it was just a whole lot. I was like, I'm ready to come home. Fuck that. Like, the experience was fun. The experience was fun while it lasted, but I just can't do this. And then it started snowing, y'all. My first day driving in the snow, I called my mom And I was like, I can't do this. Like, I couldn't do it. I was on the phone with my mom while I was driving in the snow. Like, it was like 7 o'clock in the morning. She was still asleep. But she knew. I told her that it was supposed to snow because I was at work whenever we had, like, on the news they were saying, like, it's supposed to snow the next day. So I told her, like, it was supposed to snow the next day. Like, I'm going to call her. But I had planned to go to my cousin's house instead of driving 40 minutes out to my apartment because it was going to be my first time driving in snow. And I didn't want to drive that far out, like, in snow or whatever. And I was just like, yeah, I ain't going to be able to do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. Like, it's not going to work. And I was like, fuck it, it's a wrap. I'm about to go home. But I couldn't just up and leave. I had to find, like, a legal way to get out of my lease because I signed a 12-month lease. So I can't just up and violate my lease because that would leave bad, like, it'll be bad on my record. And, you know, for future, like, trying to rent or whatever, I wouldn't have been able to do that. So I had to find, like, a legal way to get out of this apartment. So mind you, I was still going on the whole little thing of, like, the patch in my ceiling. They weren't like, they didn't come fix it. They basically didn't give a fuck that I was living in uninhabitable conditions. So while I was at work, I ended up moving back home January, like, I think it was like the end of January. It was like January 20 something. I ended up moving back home January, what it was, 2022. Yep, the end of January of 2022. And I was at work. Yeah, it was 2022. I came home last year. I was at work, like, looking up legal, like, ways and, like, what ways you could break your lease or whatever if you're not your tenant. If you're what's the thing whenever they're I'm the tenant and they're the lease, whoever, the people that basically, like, lease you or whatever, like, if they're wrong for doing something. So that's whenever I was basically looking up legal ways, and I found, like, basically from that patch being in my ceiling, that was considered, like, uninhabitable conditions, and basically that the people that weren't fixing nothing about it, they basically unconstructively evicted me, meaning I no longer was responsible for rent. So I wrote up a little letter with my little facts and my little, all the shit I found in the sources. Yeah, I had my sources because y'all wasn't finna fuck me over. Wrote them a little letter, told them the days that I was gonna be moving out, and yeah, I left it in their Dropbox, and that was it. I ended up getting a U-Haul. I had to pay $400 and something to get this little U-Haul hatch thing installed on my car that ended up getting fucking stolen right in front of my house, y'all. So fucking y'all, somebody stole my fucking hatch thing. Like, bruh, I paid $400 and something of my hard-earned money to get that shit installed, and they done stole my shit. And I probably had a warranty, but I never fucking got it reinstalled because I felt like I didn't need it. They done stole my damn hitch. Pissed me the fuck off. I forgot that bitch was stolen, so I just started talking about this story. So I could get the U-Haul attached to my car so I could drive all my shit. My TV, my bed. I gave away some little stuff, like, it was like little stuff I left. I forget what it was, but it was like little stuff I left. But I kept my couch. I sold my my rug and my coffee table to one of my coworkers at work because he had just built something in his basement. So I sold him that. I kept my couches. I kept my kitchen supplies, my bed, my TV. I should put up all my shit I took from my apartment and moved it right into my mama, back into my mama's house. My bed, my TV. I got my couches and everything. That's pretty much why I ended up moving back, y'all. The experience was fun while I did it, though. And I'm actually proud of myself that I was able to do it. Because I knew I could do it. Because I know anything I put my mind to, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it done. If I want it, I'm going to get it. One thing about it. Sure. So the experience was fun. Like, I definitely enjoyed having my own spot. Like, I was loving my little spot. I'm mad at it.
Y'all, she swear she was the top fucking chef. Like,
big chef. I was in there chefing shit up.
Girl, bye.
I'm cooking great meals, eating good. Like, I enjoyed my spot while I had it. That $1,700 rent, don't miss it. I definitely do miss getting paid for I missed the pay. I was getting paid really good at both my jobs. But oh yeah, also having to work 2 jobs, like trying to maintain like work and like my personal life and shit, that was like taking a toll on me too. Like, it was stressing me out. Like, I was getting kind of tired. I was getting drained. Fuck that. Fuck tired. I was getting drained. But I say all this to say it was definitely worth it.
Overtime.
I was having to do my shit. But I enjoyed my experience. I loved my apartment. It was really fun while it lasted. I love living back home. Like, I enjoyed my family while I was up there, and I'm definitely gonna visit again. But now I'm back home with my mama, and we just gonna try it again whenever I'm ready again. So right now we just going with the flow. We setting new goals this year, and we're gonna get them accomplished as we go. Also, around that time, I felt like, you know, everybody was like, you know, doing their shit, getting their apartments, getting their new cars, certifications, all that. And I felt a little like maybe I need to jump on that wave. But now I sat back and realized, like, I'm going to just sit back and move at my pace when I'm ready to start moving and getting my shit together. So I'm going to start off, get myself right, get myself together, and do it like another way, a better way, so that whenever I do get up and leave, I'm going to, you know, have my shit all together. And if I do move again, I'm definitely not going to move that far away from my mama.
Never not together, though.
Huh?
It wasn't never not together. You just.
Oh no, for sure, my shit was never not together. It's just, it was like a lot at once, basically, and I didn't really mentally prepare for it. But I was able to do it. I got it done, and I'm proud of me because I did that shit on my own with the help of my mama and my dad. I'm gonna shout him out for that because he did help out a little bit
and
or whatever.
God and faith.
And God and faith and hope, and my strong, independent black mama. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of this story time, y'all. Make sure you like this video, make sure you comment, and let me know if you got any questions or anything, or any other story times y'all want me to do, because I got a couple stories that I got a couple story times. But yeah, hope you guys like the video. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you tell a friend, a cousin, sister, uncle, auntie, tell them to come to subscribe. And if you watch my videos and you're not subscribed yet, what the fuck are you doing?
Okay. Pick up that motherfucker.
Hit that
phone.
subscribe button, smash that fucking like button, and turn on your bell so you can get notified
Ding, ding, ding.
when I post a video. Like, hell is you doing? But nah, I'm gonna catch y'all on the next video. It's your girl LatayzhaJahnae, and we'll see y'all in the next video.
Bye.